labour with that. And it can be quite hard because you think, oh, I'm going to be a VA because I can kind of do that from home and I can do it on the computer and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. So for those VAs to step out and come to something like this, it can be a little bit terrifying. So I just absolutely commend you for taking that step and coming along today. So a little bit about me for those of you who don't know. I think a lot of people in here, can I have a hand up who are Viva members? Yeah. Excellent. Those who aren't, come speak to me. So Virtually Yours is a virtual assistant network. We've just celebrated our 13th year, so it's going to get crazy. We're teenagers now. It's going to get naughty. We're going to rebel. And it's a community of Australian virtual assistants. And so what we do is we bring everyone together online and give you that family that understands and knows where you're coming from, not the family that, you know, what we heard the other day where Renee was saying that you go to the barbecue and they say, when are you going to get a real job? We're the family that says, rock it, you can do it, here's some support for you, I've got some answers for you, help me over here, I love you, you rock. Okay, that's what Viva is all about. So I just also want to thank Anita and her team. I often get credited for helping with AVAC, and I've never helped. Just because I know, I've offered a couple of times, but there's always been something else. Yeah, I've always supported it. But I get kudos for that, so, and I shouldn't have got that on recording, but so thank you for making me look good without me having to do anything. Keep it happening, and I'm so excited that it's happening again next year on the Gold Coast. So who's already planning to come next year? Yeah, you're not even going to come.
I'm coming.
Let's start organising our accommodation. Now, finally, I am running a little bit of a competition at my table over there. All you need to do, there's some with comp slips. Just write down what the thing is that you would like most from a network that you belong to. Pop it in the little T2 tin up there, and you can win 2 months Viva membership, even if you're an existing member. Okay. So that's all I have to say about that. Thank you very much.
Hang on, I forgot. I forgot.
Get it back up. There's some fruit.
Well, you have one each?
Yeah.
Okay. So
no, they're going to share.
We're on a budget this year.
I need to get photos of you together.
We
And one more. Thank you.
Have your eyes open? I hope so.
I need to pay them up for one. Thank you.
Guys rock.
So do you. Yeah.
As we've heard many times before, young babies cry for it and the elderly yearn for it. Recognition. And we've had some great recognition today, so give yourselves a big hand. Well done. Well, it's a real joy to introduce our next speaker. And I'm looking for, apologies, I'm looking for his book that I put over here. That's very good. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. Thanks, guys. Where were you?
I know, right? Just having a break.
We have an afternoon that's going to come home very, very strong with Joe Sanders and Katrina, and then our panel in the afternoon, which is always one of the highlights because it's so much experience in one afternoon session. But Pete Johnson, really such a delight to introduce you. He's the author of The Time Retriever, What Will You Do with the Extra Hours in Your Day, but a bit of history here. By the time he was 15, he'd played 500 games of the AFL. He's from Wagga, and not unlike myself in sports, having an injury in our teenage years. 1 foot injury pretty much whacked out his sports career, and he had to start moving in a different direction. And he's built from that, but he's a very competitive guy and a very, very senior guy in the business community. Very, very strong in speaking, coaching, and training. And Pete's testament to a well-managed life for nearly 30 years has been in major senior management roles and running several very successful businesses across Australia. He was seen by his staff and colleagues as someone who had mastered the art of time. Shortage of time is a battle cry for many, whether they're business or personal lives, we all agree. There's only 24 hours in a day. There's only 1,440 minutes in a day. And you can't get it all done, you gotta find a different way. So he knows how to do that, he's a master at it. He's been at AVAC before, and he's back because he's darn good at what he does. Peter Johnson, come on down. Great to have you.
great to be along today. And if you want to add to those minutes, it's about 4,200 weeks that you live. Now that you've calculated how many you've used, you know how many you got left, it's important you make awesome use of your time, isn't it?
Does that include being a centennial?
Being a centennial,
Yeah.
meaning
So what age have you taken those years up to?
the average lifespan of a man is 82, the average lifespan of a woman is 84.
Okay.
50 weeks in a year, 5 times 8. It's about 4,200 weeks in a lifespan. Better than that. Yeah, so very important you use them well. So guys, have you ever had a plan for your day and all of a sudden, 5 p.m, and you've achieved literally nothing?
But you've been really busy.
You've been really busy. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, I'm knackered. I've had enough. Guys, so why does that happen? Why is it you can have a plan for your day, be really busy, but not get your plan done? Why does it happen?
Focus, Facebook.
Facebook? Yeah.
When I don't have stuff comes up.
You don't have a list? With no focus? That sort of stuff. And how do you feel? How do you feel at the end of the day when you've not got what you need done? Annoyed. Really annoyed? And you notice, in the back of your mind all day, what have you been saying to yourself?
I should have.
I need to get that done still. I go, I hate doing that. I still got to get it done. And how's your day going? I don't remember, you were so busy, but I know I didn't get anything done. So, tell me, would you love to know, or to discover, how to get twice as much done in your day, and still have time left over to do the things you love? What are the things you love, guys? Walking on the beach? Coffee, or was that a whiskey? Champagne. What else do you love to do?
Gardening.
Gardening, surfing. How many do you get time to do it? Alright, now stick with me for the next 30 or 40 minutes, and I'll just run through the things that have turned around and got my clients calling me the time retriever. And I just want to run through some of my and my clients' stories and how they can help you. Now, I'm an office equipment mechanic by trade. Does anyone remember the old typewriters? Electric. Remember going to tape and going clunk, clunk, clunk in the learning how to type? And those sorts of things. And then electrics, golf ball typewriters, daisy wheel typewriters, photocopiers, faxes, computers, Roneo duplicators. We've got any there? Can you smell it now? Awesome. Offset printers, all sorts of offset. I used to fix that on the road, vacuum wagger as a technician on the road. And I had my own business. I started in office equipment, then I had my own business at 18. I was an apprentice to my own business. Not supposed to work that way because I was the only one in the business at the time. And then I had a partner come in and we moved on from there. But only in a couple of years I then joined a company called Remington. You remember the old Remington typewriters and stuff like that? And I took over, I was the junior there, went from owning my business to being the junior. And in 18 months I was then the senior running the 2 branches, Wagga and Griffith. After a while we decided to go on to Papua New Guinea. I asked my wife one day, look, would you like to come up to New Guinea with Remington? And when she said yes, and I fell off the couch, we moved up there. And all through that time I was supervising anything from 2 to 17 or 15, 17 people in 5 branches. I was always pretty good at controlling my day. I could organise what work I had to do and focus on getting it done. My biggest issue was if I couldn't fix a piece of equipment and I'm out of Hay. Does anyone know where Hay is?
Yes.
Hay, Hell and Booligal. And it's a 250k drive back to Wagga. And do I stay and fix it, or do I put it in the car and keep going back to Griffith, Leeton, Miranda and do the jobs on the way back? So I always had control. But then when I moved from Lay to to Port Moresby, and I took over as the P&G service manager. I went from supervising 17 people in 5 branches to managing a team of just over 100 people. And plus I was in an environment that was bigger than I'd worked in before. I also had the sales team hounding me, the warehousing team and the admin team. You know what you admin guys are like. Real bit of a handful at times, aren't you? And my day went out of control. I went from being in control, as I need to be, to totally out of control. That door of mine, that office door, saw a face every couple of minutes. Who's had that times when their day has just gone totally out of control?
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Out of control.
And incredibly frustrated, doesn't it? So I went along, I went and did some time management workshops. I did those and I come back and I found that they actually taught me to do what I already knew. Most time management workshops just teach you the planning, how to plan your day, how to plan your week, and a little bit on procrastination. And I got back and found that that didn't help. Because I could already plan. I already came in for my to-do list. I just couldn't get it done. Who's experienced that? Real hassle. And so I continually had the interruptions in my day, and there was obviously some new skills that I needed that I didn't know about. And those interruptions just kept coming in and in. And what I did one evening I sat there and I said, this is driving me crazy. This cannot stay. So from tomorrow morning onwards, I am going to write a list of every person that walks in that day, that door, that interrupts me. And I'm going to write down why they interrupted me and what time it was. Very quickly, within a couple of days, it turned out that Gibson, my spare parts manager, was my biggest interrupter. 7 to 9 times a day.
Gosh.
So I turned around and I got Gibson in. Come on in, Gibson. Sit down. What's going on? Why do you come in to me 7 to 9 times a day to ask me stuff about spare parts when you should already know? He said, I don't. He said, I got given this job and I don't know anything about spare parts. I said, well, that makes a problem, doesn't it?